This project is about a study explore the application of translation strategies in this book. Our objective is explore the application of translation strategies in the adventure of Tom Sawyer, comparing fragments of the original English text with its Spanish version according to the editions published by the Biblioteca Virtual Miguel de Cervantes. Our techniques select were adaptations, literal translations, called equivalent, generalizing, and particularizing. The first technique is adaptations. Hello, Saori.
Thank you. According to Byrne, 2014, adaptation is translation strategy used when content from the source culture don't exist in the target culture. It involves significant change to make the text natural for the new audience. In this example, we can see cultural adaptation. The English word paint becomes encalar in Spanish, which is a specific term for whitewashing. And also we have a structural adaptation. The phrase "I'm good at painting" changed to "sé pintar". This is a more natural sentence structure in Spanish. The translator used adaptation because literal translation would sound unnatural. This strategy helped Spanish reader connect with the story in the same way that English reader do with the original text. Now my classmate will explain another strategy.
Thank you, Saori. The second technique is literal translations. These are translations procedures that consist of producing a target text that reflects the context and the characteristic of the source text and according to the Byrne. This method is about in our source text in English, Tom appeared on the sidewalk with a bucket on the whitewash and a long highlight brush. In our target text, Spanish, the same book is that Tom apareció en la acera con un cubo de cal y una brocha de mango largo. These techniques, literal translations, every passage shows a literal because it adds no information, omits nothing, and preserve the structure of the original. The third technique is called hello, Bracy. Hello, Bracy.
Hi, Laura. I analysis the translation strategy called call in the adventure of Tom Sawyer. A call is when the translator takes the structure or phrase from the source language and creates a new expression in target language that still sounds natural. For example, Sunday school becomes escuela dominical, and another example is treasure hunting because becomes Casa de Tesoros, but keep the original structure, however, work naturally in Spanish. So in conclusion, call is different from literal translation because it adapts the phrase to the target language while keeping the original meaning. Now, another strategy. Hi, Rosibel.
Thank you. Another translation technique is equivalence. That is a translation strategy in which the translator reproduces in the target language the same meaning, effect, or impact as in the source language, often by using an idiomatic expression, proverb, or culturally appropriate phrase rather than translating word for word. An example for equivalence is, we have the source text English, Tom's heart sank. The Spanish equivalence will be, a Tom se le vino el mundo encima. If we translate it literally, will be, el mundo de Tom se le vino encima, which sounds unnatural. The Spanish expression recreates that emotional effect. So, in other words, the translator chooses a target language expression that gives the same idea or function as the original, even if the words differ. Now, my classmate Yadira is going to continue.
Thank you. Now I'm going to talk about generalization and particularization. Generalization is a translation technique that involves replacing a term in the source text with a more generic term in the target text. Particularization or specification is the opposite technique, involving the use of term that is more specific than the term used in the source text. In the examples, Tom was wearing a Nike jacket, translated like Tom llevaba una chaqueta de tela o una chaqueta de lona. The English word nankin refers to a very specific cloth traditionally made in Nanking, China, where the expression was very common in the 19th century in the United States. By translating as a more general term, like chaqueta de tela or chaqueta de lona, even if the specific material name is not, is a better translation than the another one. In the words, in the other example, Tom stood in the porch, that como Tom se paró en el portal, the English word porch is a generic term that can refer to several types of covered structures, including the one intended by Twain. A translator might use particularization to choose portal, making the description more accurate and evocate for the Spanish reader. Thank you.
In conclusion,
Translation works demands navigating a spectrum defined by two extremes, fidelity to the source and naturalness in the target language.
As well, a skilled translator really commits to one extreme, but rather justly mix these techniques on sentence-by-sentence basics delivered that the text is both accurate and comprehensible to the new audience.
okay, thank you. Thank you for watching, and that's it.